1970, I went to Japan for 2 months for this group training course in computers, and went around and learned about computers in Japanese. In the meantime, Dr. Chisfield went to UNESCO and then to finalize, to choose the computer for the UCC project. And there were two main contenders, IBM, the American, and the ICL, International Company Limited, the British one. So finally, because IBM was a little more expensive and then they were not willing to give the latest technology to us, Dr. Chisfield chose ICL. ICL computers were shipped, I think, in 1971. In 1972, ICL was finally installed, and then we have to have experts, right? Expertise under the project. So the University of California at Santa Cruz, led by Professor Husky, one of the pioneers of electronic computers. So he came and he tested the equipment and he accepted the equipment. Since computers are here, we should try and use the computers to do the 1973 population and housing census on the computers. I think in 1974, the census processing project was started. Batch processing system, that everything is not interactive. You cannot, nobody can interact with the computer. Everything is done, input to the cards, and everything is output towards the printer. And also you can have, there's no disk drives or what you have to put are tapes. And also there are some exchangeable disk drives, which would be funny if you talk about it, because a big disk drive would contain only 8 megabytes, right? So most is only used for temporary storage as well as for the software. 8 megabyte disk is about this much, sort of a dishwasher type, right? I think in the UCC, I think if you go to UCC, there is still this big room there, right? And I think downstairs is mostly one part is the computer part, and the other part is the sort of a data preparation where you punch the cards, where you keep the cards, and where you store the cards, where you store the tape. It's there. So I think half the building over there is used for these machines. And that I feel very lucky that I was in a position to do this project. And we are still proud of doing this project. We're still proud of creating this sort of computer culture in Burma. We have done our part. So I think the people now are also doing their part to move everything forward. So what we had done, we did put the first computer in the country, but now I think it's time to use computers effectively in the government, because we have not been able, because that time the computers were expensive and of course time consuming, so the government cannot really use it in its work. But now it's time, I think.